Hey guys, welcome back to Morgan Hill Farms. I cannot believe that I'm out here in a sweatshirt in the middle of summer this morning. I let the dog out when I got up and I could not believe how cold it was. I think we're sitting in the 60s right now and it really looks like we're gonna stay that way. I checked that 10-day forecast and man, we're not getting out of the 60s and low 70s. And it's crazy. I don't know. It's good for the garden though. For all of the fall seeds that I'm getting in there, I'm going to be getting my green shelling peas in today. I'm going to get my sugar snap peas in this afternoon. And then with all of the rain that they're calling for, those things are going to pop up super quick. And so that's going to be really nice. So I'm glad for that at least. But yesterday was a super busy day. It was our annual cherry preserving day. I ordered 32 pounds of sweet red cherries from Azure Standard. Those cherries, they come from all the way across the country from Washington State, and they're on that truck for a good week before they make it here to me in South Carolina. And I knew that as soon as those things came in, I knew that we were going to have to just work through them immediately if I wanted to, keep them from spoiling. So as soon as we got those in, we got everything set up. I had my older 3 kids all helping me pick cherries. My little guy actually went to camp this week, so that was super fun. I did try to get some footage of the cherries, but my teenagers, guys, they can't be serious. They're so crazy. But anyways, they helped me work through 2 batches of cherry pie filling. We also did some brandied cherries. Those are so good, guys, and super easy. And then I finished up with some cherry amaretto jam. And then because I wasn't exhausted enough, I ended up working through, I want to say probably about 40 pounds of tomatoes. I just don't like to let those sit on the counter. They just end up going bad so quickly. So I just got them all roughly chopped up, threw them in the pans on the stove, cooked them down, got them soft, and then I put them through my sauce maker. And then when I get back in today, I'm gonna just cook those down and get those up on the shelf. And so I was really glad that we worked through all of those cherries. And honestly, guys, I'm kind of hoping that they have those still in season next month. I really should have ordered double what I did. I thought 32 pounds would be enough, but I just didn't have what I wanted to get through all of my recipes. But one quick tip for you guys, if y'all are working through cherries, it's kind of that season right now, you need to get yourself a cherry pitter from Norpro. This thing can pit, gosh, I don't know, it's a crazy amount of cherries in no time at all, because that is the most tedious part of working with cherries, is getting that pit out. It takes forever. And I used to have just those single handheld ones. But this thing, it's got this little hopper. You put the cherries in it and it just kind of feeds in. You press the plunger down and in one motion, guys, it just pits that cherry and then pops it out onto the other side. So it's incredibly fast. And without that thing, we would not have been able to work through all of that fruit. But I do have a little update for you guys that I wanted to share with you. So I think, I don't know, it was maybe 3 weeks ago I came on, I told you guys that I was waiting on my homeowner's renewal. That was going to renew, and I was kind of worried to get that in the mail, but I did finally get it. And I have to say, guys, it was not what I was expecting. Okay, so since 2021, since we moved here, our homeowner's insurance has almost doubled. So I knew it was going to go up. Okay, I'm thinking 150, 250, maybe 350. I was kind of feeling sick about that. Guys, $1,200, $1,200 of an increase. That's an extra $100 a month that I have to pay now on top of the already crazy premium that I was already paying. And I have never had a claim. I have been with this company for 20 years and I have never once asked them to pay for a single thing. If there is something wrong, I pay to have a contractor come in and fix it. If Nate and I can handle it, we do it ourselves. But when my roof needed to be replaced because of the crazy winds that we had a few years ago, I paid for that out of pocket, guys. I'm just the type of customer, and I just think, well, hey, I don't want to submit a claim because I don't want my rates and premiums to go up. And I guess we can all see how great that's worked out for me. Ugh, guys, I mean, I was so upset. I called them. Okay, even the guy on the other end of the phone was shocked. He's like, wow, that is a huge increase. And so it took him a little bit, but after a bit of digging, he said that we just had a rate increase across our entire area because of all all of the claims that had been submitted. And it's just so frustrating to me. It just, guys, it just feels like they want you homeless. They keep raising the prices like this, and it's not going to be long before it forces everybody out of their homes. My property taxes, they have doubled in 5 years. Okay, last year we had another increase. Okay, they can't increase the taxes over a certain percentage, but if they increase the tax rate, they can get around it that way. So that was a 16% increase last year. And then I just found out 2 weeks ago that our county council voted to impose a mandatory $230 fee for trash pickup. Okay, so you have to pay the county to pick your trash up. You can't hire a private company, and that's fine. It comes out to about $18 a month. That's fine, I would pay them. But the problem is when they make it a mandatory fee and attach it to your property taxes, if you don't pay that every year, they can take your house. The same way that they take your house if you don't pay your property taxes. And so, you know, guys, it's frustrating. You buy a home, okay? You work your fingers to the bone to maintain it. You pay the bank 2, maybe 3 times what you bought it for, right, over those 30 years with the interest. And then after all that, they can just come in and take your home. I feel like what we have is essentially a lifetime subscription, you know, with these constant price increases. And they don't even tax you on what you bought it for, guys. If you buy a $200,000 house, okay, and with the crazy increases that we've seen, 10, 15 years down the road, you know, you've got 6 or 8 people on your county council that just, you know, look at your house and they say, we think that's worth $2 million. That's what you're going to be paying taxes on, even though you have never once in your life had $2 million. And it is insane. Guys, it is no wonder that there are so many foreclosures. 45% of people that don't own a home right now say they never see themselves being able to afford one. And did you guys know that adults 65 years and older, they are the fastest growing demographic of homeless people in our country right now? Because they have just made it impossible for people. They say it costs $28,000 right now per year to maintain your home, guys. That's more than $2,000 every month just to maintain it on top of your mortgage payment. And if you think that's crazy, I'm going to tell you it's really not. An AC unit, that's an easy 10 grand. And you've got to replace those every 6, 8, maybe 10 years if you're lucky, because nothing lasts anymore. Everything's just made to break. When we moved in here, I was quoted $63,000 for new windows. On our last home, which had a comparable amount of windows, I got all new, super nice windows for $8 grand. Of course, that was before 2020 hit. If you've got a 2,000 square foot house, the average cost for that roof is like $20,000. And I think that this is why mobile home sales are up 45%, because that is the only somewhat affordable option. And I hesitate to even use that word affordable, because the average price for a single wide mobile home has gone up 95%. It has almost doubled in the last 10 years. And that was the only way that some people were able to own a home. Guys, I looked online and it says that the price of an average single wide trailer from Clayton Homes, which they have like 50% of the control over this market. But if you want carpet, if you want to have drywall, which I don't really think is an upgrade, but if you don't want the plastic walls, if you want upgraded linoleum, the average cost for that, guys, take a guess. $90,000. But wait, guys, because that is just the structure. That doesn't include your $10,000 delivery fee. It doesn't include any site prep, which could be up to 20 grand. And then if you've got to buy the land to put it on, you know, that's an extra cost too. And so they're just even making that unaffordable. And that's why you see so many tiny homes, guys. That industry has just skyrocketed. All of these little tiny home communities, and even those, you know, even those are getting really pricey. The cost per square foot is pretty outrageous. You see people buying these tiny little sheds. They're just basically a shell. You know, they're converting them into homes, but they're buying this shell of this tiny little shed, and they're paying something like 20 to 25 grand for it. And it's just because there is literally no other option for home ownership. And then you've got counties right down the road from me that say that you can't live in anything under 800 square feet. That's not a legal residence, you know? And we all know why they're saying that. They're saying it because they're not getting the tax revenue. And it doesn't care if it's a trailer on wheels or, you know, a movable tiny home. It can even be a stick-built structure on a foundation. It's not legal and you can't live there. You know, and that just kind of puts us where we're at now with the whole RV life and the van life thing. We have a record number of people living in RVs and vans. It's doubled since 2021. And it's, you know, it's no surprise when you look at the number of manufactured homes historically that used to be made, they always made more mobile homes than RVs. But now, okay, and I think this is absolutely crazy. And it just shows how bad things are, okay? But RV production outpaces manufactured homes 4-to-1. For every mobile home that's made, you have 4 RVs. And it is not because people have more disposable income, guys. They're not just going camping and going on vacation and living the good life. If they were just going on vacations, we wouldn't have these billion-dollar corporations buying up all of this land and making these long-term RV communities. You've got companies, there's this one, what's it called? It's like Equity Lifestyle Properties. They're building these RV parks for you to live in permanently. They are cashing in on the fact that you have no other options. And they even said in one of their own reports that they did a study and they found that the demand from millennials and Gen Z is growing so much that they can't build these communities fast enough to keep up with them. And they are investing so much money in this, guys, because they know they're going to make money, because that's what we're moving towards. When the average first-time home buyer is 40 years old, okay, 87% of renters, the numbers show that they can't afford the median price of a home in America. You are foreclosing on the elderly couple at the end of the street because they're $100 delinquent on their tax bill or they didn't pay their trash bill. Guys, I mean, they see where the market is going. They spend big money to hire people to watch this stuff and track it and research, and then they're just cashing in on it. They literally just want us homeless. They want us desperate, poor, hungry, and homeless, because that is the point, that you will do just about anything. And I think that it's just another way for them to gain control, for them to have complete power over us. And so, guys, I really don't have a quick and easy solution for this. The only thing I can say is that if you are in the market to buy a home, you need to be very careful with your money. You need to be buying a house that is a lot less than what you can afford, because no one can keep up with these increases. Even after the mortgage is paid off, guys, you still have to pay the county every single month just for the privilege to live on that property. You still have to have homeowners insurance, because not many of us are rich enough to self-insure. And guys, and when your bills are going up by 50% and 100% every single year, it's just, you're just not going to be able to keep up. So anyways, guys, I just wanted to share that with you, give you that update. I was almost physically sick when I saw that, because it just, you know, you kind of feel helpless. So guys, just make sure you're doing what you can do. Make sure you're looking at your budget and just being smart about the money that you're spending. But anyways, guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. I will see you in the next video.